Today, I'm going to be sharing 3 limiting beliefs that are very common that can really stop your intuition and abundance from growing. It's really important that we work on our mindset. This world is really focused on action and doing that we forget it really is important to check in with our own energy and how we're talking to ourselves and how we feel about ourselves and our belief system. I always truly recommend that checking in with you and how you feel and putting yourself first, taking care of yourself first, is going to be very instrumental in how aligned you are, how your intuition is growing, and your life purpose, if you're truly living it, if you feel abundant. So today, we're going to be really getting into these limiting beliefs, but also how to move past them. So stay tuned. Welcome to Spiritual and Ambitious. I'm your host, Whitney McNeill. I'm a certified medium and spiritual teacher, and I help spiritual and ambitious souls just like you live your life purpose through your career and attract abundance by connecting into your intuition and spirit guides. Let's get spiritual and ambitious. Now, once a year, I open up doors to Intuition Abundance Academy, and of course, would love to see you inside. And one of the things that I feel is so important is working on our mindset. So one of the biggest components that I teach my students is really looking at their abundance and if they're rejecting it or if they're accepting it. And it truly does start with the things that we say to ourselves, because we truly can take action based on our beliefs, our emotions, our thoughts. And if those thoughts are not helpful and they're harmful, in fact, we're never actually going to take the action, right? So it's going to be really important to open up your intuition, to open up your abundance. You got to get out of your comfort zone. And looking at what old stories exist and ripping out that page and creating a new one is going to open you up to your spirit guides, to more intuition, to more opportunities in your business, more opportunities to live your purpose joyously, heart-centeredly, if that's even a word, but you know what I mean, and truly make an impact and a change in this world. So if you're interested in Intuition Abundance Academy, I'd love for you to enroll at messengerofspirit.com/enroll. We only are opening it up this time, and we're going to close it on April 21st. Let's flip the script on things you've been telling yourself. Okay, so the first limiting belief that really stops your intuition and abundance from growing is saying, I can handle it. I can do this by myself. Okay, I don't need any help. I'm good. Spiritual sensitive souls can take on the world. They want to help other people. They want to support other people, and they feel like they can't receive help. So one thing is, if you're saying, I can handle it, I've got this, I can do it myself, you're not opening up to receive abundance because you're not opening up to receive support or energy. Now, in some previous episodes, I've talked about, can you receive a compliment? Can you say thank you when somebody pays for your meal? Or do you say, no, I'm good. I've got this. I'll pay for it. In my family, it was kind of told, you argue with a person and make sure that even though they offered to pay, you don't pay. It's like the weirdest thing. It's like mind games. But it's important to actually say, thank you. I receive it. Now, I especially see this with entrepreneurs. They start their business, and then they are doing it all themselves. And they're like, I've got this. I'll make my own way. I don't need any help. And they actually won't even hire anybody to help them because they think that it's an expense or that they can't ever teach anybody how to be them. And it really, what happens energetically is you can only handle so much. There are only a certain amount of hours per day. and your body needs to rest. When you are at capacity, you cannot take on anymore. And that means you're rejecting the abundance that the universe is providing you. This also limits your growth and your intuition because you become so burnout and sensitive. When I say sensitive, I mean energetically sensitive. It's like, I can't handle one more thing. So have you ever felt that way? I know you have. I have, where I got snippy. Like so many things were happening at once. I felt overwhelmed. I would snap at my husband or someone else, and I wasn't really living in alignment. I wasn't accepting support. And I felt like I had to do it my way, which is also control. And when that happens, I'm not open truly to receive what my spirit guides and my intuition is trying to tell me because I'm stuck in control mode. I'm stuck in the lower chakra of my solar plexus, which is what I say, the monkey mind, the mind that's always thinking, versus opening up that chakra to really receive how I'm feeling or what I know to be true on a spiritual level. When we start really valuing that it's okay to receive support and it's okay not to be a machine that is productive all the time, and we actually give ourselves the ability to rest, then we start to open up more intuitively. Now, something else I've seen, and I used to do this myself, is I would set an intention of, I really want to open up my intuition. I really want to do this. I mean, like I'm serious about this. But when it came time to taking a course, reading a book, listening to meditation, I didn't make time for it. I actually, at some point, perceived intuition as just a fun hobby, and I didn't understand that really it was an asset to more abundance in my life. So when I followed that intuition, it would lead me to the right people, the right places, more aligned opportunities, and lead me to my purpose and starting my business. It's a huge asset. It's like one investment of your time or taking a course can pay off every year and just keeps multiplying. It's a lifetime tool that you then have access to. What I ended up doing is I thought, I don't need to take a formal course. I'm just going to read books and listen to meditations. And I ended up piecing stuff together and getting way more confused because I was listening to a zillion different teachers, and one person said one thing, one person said something else, and I didn't really have somebody I could ask questions to when shit got real. Like, oh my gosh, I saw a shadow in my room. What the F was that? Was that bad? Was that good? So really, let's flip the script on saying, I can handle it, to I am open to receiving support. I receive support. You can even say, I'm truly ready to receive support. So understand that you have a certain capacity. And when we are ready to expand our capacity into receiving more and to receiving our intuition, something has to give. You've got to get something off of your plate. Now, I know that it's nice to think that we have superpowers and to not limit ourselves. We're talking about limiting beliefs. So it's like, but isn't that a limiting belief that I have to give something up in order to do something else? Well, I love the place of not feeling like you have to choose, but I'm saying that you are a human and your body will only handle so much. So making time to rest and recharge and making time to receive your messages and saying yes, receiving that payoff that you've been working so hard for. So whether it's money, perhaps it is a compliment, perhaps it is new opportunities coming into your life. Let's say yes to them. Let's welcome them and make time for that. It's also this place of accepting you don't know it all. We don't. And we're not an expert in it all either. With our intuition, sometimes people think, it's our intuition. It comes when it comes. No, it doesn't. We can actually access it at any time. We just need to develop that muscle. We have to do intuitive exercises regularly or practice receiving. And then the universe sees that, you're not doing, you're receiving. Let me send you these wonderfully aligned opportunities. And your spirit guides help you get there. So it's okay not to know it all. It's okay not to really specialize in every single thing either. So if you're a business owner, knowing that your time is best spent where your life purpose lights you up, and hire other people that really specialize in the areas where you don't. For intuition, recognize that it's okay that you don't know it all. And instead of feeling overwhelmed because you don't, hire someone or work with someone to help you understand what these things are. So let's throw this first limiting belief out the window and accept support. Let go of the reins. You've got this. All right, limiting belief number 2, I don't like risks. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of the unknown. No matter how you say it, they're all the same. Stay with me. I'm going to get into it when I come back after this quick break. Okay, so when you really get into thinking you don't like risks, most of the time it's because 1, the person is going out of their comfort zone, and 2, it's unknown. We've never gone down this path before, so we don't know what to expect. If we're being really real, we never know what's around the next corner. We might have a routine every day, but that routine can get interrupted. So if you want to talk about risk in air quotes, every day is a risk. We don't know what's going to happen. So with our intuition, it gives us a heads up, but we still have to chart our own way. So I'm afraid of the unknown. I'm out of my comfort zone. You're never going to grow or receive more abundance if you don't get out of your comfort zone. I shared this before where I know someone that inherited multiple 5 figures and gave it all away because it was uncomfortable for her to receive more abundance. And this is literally, right? Financial abundance. So really being comfortable with the uncomfortable is going to be key. When you're communicating with your spirit guides, when you're communicating through your intuition, it's unknown. We don't know what is going to be said. We do know that whatever is going to be said is going to be helpful for us, and it is only there for our highest and the best. But we get these nudges, we get these ahas, we get these signs for us to step out of our comfort zone. So if you've ever done a meditation before, and I like to do this inside of Intuition Abundance Academy, where we'll do a future self meditation, and then we step into that future version of ourselves, because that future version can be our version now. What's interesting is sometimes people see themselves doing things that they freak out about, like being on stage, for an example, or speaking. And the person's like, I have stage fright. Like, I'm not doing that. Nope, not for me. And Spirit is saying, hey, we're here to help you grow. So you have a teacher guide that wants to help you step out of the comfort zone because your guides are on the same page of your life purpose. So it's really important for you to follow and take those steps when you don't necessarily know the outcome. It's like these little breadcrumbs that your spirit guides give you. Hey, do this. And you're like, what? Why am I going to do this? You're doing this because every little breadcrumb that you say yes to is going to be a stepping stone to get to your end result, which is an aligned, joyful, heart-centered life, living your purpose, being fully open to your abundance and attracting abundant opportunities, and understanding the messages that your spirit guides give you. So you got to grow. If you don't want to grow, then don't do anything out of your comfort zone. Everything's unknown. But what's interesting is when I talk to spiritual and ambitious souls, especially who want to start their own business, it's a perceived risk, right? So sometimes you can't even get past that first, oh my gosh, I can't do this. What's interesting is it's all coming down to mindset work, where what are people going to think of me? Do I really have the ability to do this? I feel like an imposter. I can't do this. So there's a lot of negative self-talk, which is why we are shifting our limiting beliefs. There's no proven data that anything is going to work. You just have to follow the breadcrumbs. And when you do, you see the abundance. Now, one of the things that can be a little controversial is investing in something that you really want to do. So maybe you've never invested in yourself. Maybe you said, I really would love to do this intuitive development coaching, or I'd love to really start my business, or I would really want to work on myself spiritually. But maybe you want to work with a mentor. Maybe you want to take Intuition Abundance Academy and you're nervous about doing it. And that's because it's a financial investment. What I like to think of it is as you've got a one-time investment that's going to pay you back your entire lifetime. And what's interesting is energetically, when you, let's say, ante up, as they say, when you put your, let's just say, seed money or you invest in yourself, the universe goes, oh, you're really serious about this. All right, here it comes. Here's bigger energy. So one of the things I like to talk about inside of Intuition Abundance Academy, are you playing big? Are you playing small? Are you hiding? Or are you saying, I'm ready for this? And if you truly are ready for this, then it's time to make that initial step. Now, with investment, I'm not giving you investment advice, and I definitely would never recommend anybody work with me if you're really worried about putting food on the table. I'm talking about energetically feeling, I'm going to do this. The first time I ever invested in a program was $97 a month for 12 months. And for me at that time, it felt super scary. Even though logically it would be fine, I really waited and waited for a year before I said yes to this program. Now, saying yes to this one program has made me multiple six figures. So it paid off with $1,000 investment. And when you really start looking at what was holding me back, it was, can I really do this? And I feel uncomfortable because I've never invested in my business or myself this way. I don't like risks and I'm not sure if it will work. Those were all logical things I was saying to myself, but energetically and intuitively, I knew it was a hell yeah. So I eventually did, and obviously it paid off. So I get it if it feels really, really scary. What I'd love for you to remember is you are a changeable being. You don't look the same that you did 10 years ago. You don't act the same that you did 10 years ago. And you don't feel the same that you did 10 years ago either. So as your physical body changes, your emotional, your spiritual body, your mental body changes too. So does your capacity to receive. And when you are realizing that everything is changeable and nothing can stay the same, it's easier to accept the unknown or the risks. So if you're saying you don't like risks, well, one, it can block your intuition, and two, your abundance. Blocking your intuition is basically saying, I don't want to know what's going on. I'm too afraid of it. Now, if you are thinking, well, I'm just afraid that I'm going to open up to something bad, that's why it's important to have the right spirit team around you so that you have this knowledge that they're going to help you. You have a protector guide, and that protector guide is going to make sure to filter out anybody in spirit that doesn't need to talk to you. That's why I really love to talk about this inside of Intuition Abundance Academy. So let's flip the script from I don't like risks to I embrace the unknown. Okay, the third limiting belief I see a lot of is I don't have the time. I don't have the time. I get all these new ideas. I get intuitive hits, but I don't remember them and I don't have the time to implement them. Okay, then let's just keep things status quo, right? Said nobody ever. If you want to keep things status quo, that means you're not ready for change. You're not opening up for more abundance and you're not opening up for more intuition. If spirit is feeding you a lot of these ideas and you're getting them and you do nothing with them, they're going to say, you know what, this person's not ready. So we're going to stop giving this person new opportunities because they're not saying yes to them. So you can have ideas all day long, but it's time to actually take the action. So with your intuition, it affects it this way. If you're getting these ideas and you're rejecting them, your spirit guides are going to say, okay, we don't really have anything else new for you because you're not really doing anything about it. So you might still get some messages here and there, but you are not going to grow your intuition. The same goes with your abundance. If you have these ideas and hunches to change your job, to start a business, to change your offer, to talk to this client, and you don't do it, you're limiting your abundance. It's just facts. One of the main objections that I'll hear for investing in Intuition Abundance Academy is I don't have the time. So what I say to people who are thinking about it is, one, these lessons are recorded, so you have lifetime access to them. But two, when are you actually going to make the time? Now, I totally understand if somebody's going through surgery or they have a huge thing going on in their family or something going on with their health. That's like a totally different story. I'm talking about the I don't have time excuses because their life is seemingly so busy and they never make time for themselves. So, are you going to make time for your intuition? It's going to be really important that you do that, whether you work with me or you don't. You need to talk to your spirit guides. Are you going to actually make time for your intuition? And also, are you actually going to make time to implement new ideas that you have in your business? Are you just happy the way things are? Understanding that if you are happy with the way things are, then okay, but that means you're not open to growing, right? You're going to stay in the status quo. If you do want to grow your intuition and your abundance, then it's making time to actually implement them, especially for business owners. Business owners have all these ideas all day long, including myself. I will get messages from my intuition and not be able to implement them until years later because I know with my first principle that I can't do it all myself, that I have to have a team of people to help me get that thing implemented. So understanding where my weaknesses are and where my strong points are, then I can bring somebody else in that has a strong point where my weakness is. So really creating the space in the calendar to do that is important. It's okay if it's a year from now, but knowing that you've got to make it a priority and that you've got to create time for it, because that one thing can open you up to more abundance financially, and it can save you some time. So let's say you're a service provider and you want to have an online course, but you're like, I don't know how to do it and I don't have the time to implement it. I get it, but it's going to be important for you to create time in your schedule to find people that can help you build this thing so that then this creates more financial abundance for you. And then if you choose to, you can spend less time doing one-on-one appointments so that you can have a more abundant life and have that freedom, which goes back to the point of wanting to make sure that you had that space and that rest for abundance to flow into you. Whew. 3 limiting beliefs. So let's go ahead and review. Number 1, I can handle it. I can do it all myself. I don't need anybody to teach me how to do that. I don't need the support. Let's flip that and say, I am open to support. I receive support. I welcome support. Number 2, I don't like risks. I'm afraid. I don't like the unknown, so I'm not going to do anything about it. Let's flip that to I embrace the unknown. Then the third one, I don't have time. I don't have time to implement new ideas. I don't have time to learn intuition. I don't have the time. Oh my gosh, that means you're not creating space and making things a priority in your life. Your intuition, I think, is your number one priority, your number one asset that you have. When you listen to it every morning, you know what tasks to spend time on, what tasks aren't going to get done. So just push it to the next day where you'll be in a better frame of mind to do it. You'll also save a lot of money because you'll know who to work with and who not to work with. And the list goes on and on. So instead of saying I don't have time, how about we flip it to saying I make time for my intuition. My intuition is a priority. Now, if you're someone that is saying, well, what about the abundance piece? You can say, I welcome abundance and I live my abundant life. I make time to implement new ideas in my business, or I implement new ideas. Maybe even I implement money generating ideas. All right. It's been great to talk to you, and I will see you on the next episode. And until then, Here's to staying spiritual and ambitious. Thanks so much for listening to this episode. And if you loved it, would you please share it with a friend? I would also love your review and a reminder to subscribe so you never miss an episode. You can find me at messengerofspirit.com, and you can take the 4 Intuitive Languages quiz and find show notes there too. If you want to connect on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, you can find me at Messenger of Spirit. If you want to continue the conversation, join my free Facebook group at messengerofspirit.com/group. I'll meet you right here next week. Here's to staying spiritual and ambitious.